I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Red Mist Podcast, Season 2, Episode 8, the Hut Strickland Circuit City Stavola Brothers Ford episode in honor of our weekend of NASCAR racing. A classic, iconic livery. Whatever happened to Circuit City?
Didn't they go bankrupt?
They went the
and
way,
not pay racing team sponsorship money?
They went the way of many box stores down the drain. But
Blockbuster, for example.
But an iconic livery.
I think Blockbuster is still out there.
Yeah, with one store?
Yeah, it's only one store, but it's not.
There's still
yeah,
Best Buy's still around.
Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy.
Best Buy.
People
flock over for.
That was like Circuit City.
Yeah,
they're around too.
I guess.
They're all the same. Yeah. Anyways, all right, it's the Stavola Brothers Ford. I love it. Hut Strickland.
Not even Dale Jr., 8-car, Budweiser. Who else is in the 8?
Nate, no, this is the...
Kyle Busch.
This is Nate, no, Nate, this is the Hut Strickland Circuit City Ford Stavola Brothers episode, all right?
He didn't win anything.
How dare you? Anyways, moving on. This isn't all about Dale Jr. Anyways, so on tonight's episode, we'll talk a little NASCAR.
You could have said Josh Berry too, like in the Xfinity series.
Okay, Nate, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. We'll talk some NASCAR, and then we have some F1 news.
Yeah,
and some breaking news that happened today. Literally.
Yes. Oh, I see what you did there.
I see what I did there. And we'll talk some other general news that's floating about out and about, as they say. But a big weekend coming up with the opening of the F1 season. Mm-hmm. I'm excited because I be subjected to Ted's Notebook for the next 9 months.
Not that you're going to binge Drive to Survive this weekend?
I am not.
Oh, I am.
I am not. I don't think I'm going to binge Drive to Survive. But anyways,
I will.
So
even if it's bad, I'll report that it's bad.
That's fine.
I'll say it now. It's coming out the 24th.
It's dropping.
Yeah.
Yep, this Friday. Yep.
So this Friday.
Do all the episodes drop? This is not like Ted Lasso where they drop on Friday.
Yes, these are all of them.
All of them.
I think.
all 10.
Yeah. F1 does it.
Okay.
All
no, that's fine. All right. That's exciting. And anyway, we're only a few short days from 100 Days to Indy dropping on the CW. Does anyone get the CW? Where can I get that? Is that on cable?
Yeah.
Somewhere?
Yeah.
I don't even know what's on it. Anyways, I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be fun to watch.
Fun to watch. And we'll have some broadcasting updates from Indianapolis as well.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. So for those of you lucky enough, they'll be watching it from home. So, Nate, let's travel down south, where just a few short weeks ago, we had one of the most exciting sports car races of all time, especially in LMP2.
What a finish.
Yep. And, a race that runs 24 hours around the clock and had far fewer cautions than NASCAR combined this weekend.
You're really stretching it.
Okay.
I said NASCAR combined this weekend.
Combined, yeah, sure.
Combined?
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say
Sure.
not just the Daytona 500.
All three of the top echelon classes of NASCAR. We're talking Craftsman, Truck, Xfinity Series, and Cup.
Whoa! You can't just leave out ARCA.
That's different.
That had the most cautions. Period.
That
race itself probably surpassed a Rolex.
That's the D League. Sorry, anyone that runs in that. Anyways.
Hey, but you like to watch the D League Michelin Pilot Series.
There's no crashes in it.
Okay.
Who won the last
What?
Michelin pilot race?
Last Michelin pilot race?
Yes.
The
That
one
was-
2 weeks ago?
Which one? The one at Daytona? You talking about?
Yeah. Oh,
It was
Yeah.
it was Harrison Burton and Zane Smith.
NASCAR drivers. There we go. All right.
Oh yeah, okay.
On to the
NASCAR
Okay.
driver's driving a
Oh,
Multimatic
okay.
Ford. That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
about as GT3 as it gets.
Yeah.
Okay, Nate. All right. Jesus.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile,
Spencer Pimpelli was
Spencer
hunting.
Pompelli. Yeah, if that race went
Hunting.
another 20 minutes, they wouldn't have won.
No,
so.
not even 20 minutes. It would have been like
Yeah,
another like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Anyway.
I had to.
Whatever. Okay. Enough with that. Moving on. Enough.
Poke the bear.
Poke the bear. Anyways.
Yeah, well, I got an instant
yeah.
reaction.
All right. So
Whoa.
Nate, let's start the NASCAR recap.
With Arca?
No, Craftsman Truck, a rain shortened event.
Yeah, it was rain shortened. That had some action. But there was a lot of wrecks.
Nate, yeah, there we go. Thank you. Okay.
I wasn't done. I was still talking.
That's all.
I know
That's
what
all.
the reality is.
Okay, moving on. Okay, now
I'm going on mute.
But Zane Smith won. He won it last year and he won it this year. So 2 in a row for him. And he's not doing full-time truck racing. He is doing, I guess, technically full-time cup racing.
Gotcha.
Because he's going to be doing a lot of the schedule with the 38 car, sharing the ride with.
I think what was exciting about the truck race
Todd
was
Gilliland.
what was exciting about the truck race is we had some guest racers in it. We had Parker Kligerman, right? No? Yes?
Yep.
Yep. And we had one Travis Pastrana.
Yes, that's right. He was in the truck race, but he's had multiple starts in the truck series race. So I'm not really surprised he kind of joined in the ride.
Which was good for him.
Joined in the truck race. Yeah.
Yep.
And actually, I have a fun point once we get to the Daytona 500. But the truck race, it was pretty good. There was a lot of wrecks again, but I would have totally guessed that Zane Smith would have won because he's really good. He's kind of like Justin Haley at this. Him and Justin Haley are pretty good at super speedway racing and are very fast.
Is Matt? Who's the guy who's been in this? Matt Crafton? Was he racing?
Matt Crafton, yeah. He's been in truck series
forever.
Like,
I think there was 2 drivers in the race. I did get this stat off of one of these sites that were actually racing in the series when it was originally the Craftsman series, and now it's the Craftsman series. Kind of cool. That's interesting. Matt Crafton being one of them.
Right. He's just like, back in full swing.
Yeah.
Like,
So so that covers the truck race, which ended rain shortened.
it was rain shortened.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
That's right, because we're running on an oval, so don't want to let the rain.
Yeah, imagine that, Sean. We can't race.
Okay. So next up, we have Xfinity.
Yes. Which was a better race, in my opinion.
But what happened at the end?
Oh, Sean, you're making me say it.
Yeah.
There was a wreck at the end, and
Of
they didn't
course
get back to
there
the
was.
stripe, and
Yep.
it
All
was.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, kinda-
So,
kinda-
we froze the field. Let's see who won.
And who won?
I'll tell you what,
who
though.
won
I
that?
thought
No.
I thought it was John Hunter Nemechek, but it ended up being
timing and scoring says otherwise.
Austin Hill.
By
Not even by a hair. It was super close at the end.
Now we had Parker Kligerman.
But you know what's crazy?
Parker Kligerman made a guest appearance in this race.
Yeah, and did Jeffrey Earnhardt as well, or is he full time? I'm not.
I don't know.
sure.
I don't know. Did Allmendinger run in the race? No.
That's a good question. I don't think so. No, the 16 car is being run full time
Okay.
by Chandler Smith.
All right. So congrats to Zane Smith in the trucks and Austin Hill in Xfinity. Now, before we move to the big boys, Cup Series, Cup. Is it like, it's not the Winston Cup, it's not
The Piston Cup.
No, it's who's the presenting sponsor for NASCAR?
It's 3. It's like Geico, Coca-Cola.
Blue Emu or what?
Oh well, you would have guessed so. After they went to commercial break at the worst time. They went to commercial break and then there was a wreck.
Yes, yep, we'll get to that.
We'll
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
This was a fantastic setup by NASCAR. Amazing, absolutely amazing. We had qualifying on Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so, Thursday.
Tuesday.
Thursday.
No, I'm sorry. Wednesday, and then the qualifying races.
Oh,
so there's
Thursday,
no practice.
Right. Okay, so we qualify on Wednesday. No practice. So I'm getting into something with this.
The technical term is an impound race.
Impound race, right? So you qualify, the car goes to the garage, you can't do anything with it, and then you're expected you're expected to then run a twin 125 race. Granted, you have at least 3 pit stops in it, 2 pit stops.
And I got to point this out too. There was no stages in the qualifying races. I thought there would be.
I think there was,
but there wasn't.
There
wasn't.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't.
Those were all caution related. Caution?
All caution related.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was like BS, debris
right.
cautions or a wreck.
Yeah, BS. Yeah, because somebody's screen popped out, and I did see that.
Yeah, at the side window. Yep. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Sean, you saw it?
I saw the highlights, Nate. Because NBC does a fantastic thing called the duels in 20.
Yeah.
So I watched that. Thank you.
Did you watch the highlights or the extended highlights?
You watched the duels in 20 and then you watched the 500 in 20?
Yes.
So you spent 40 minutes watching NASCAR.
Yeah. I didn't watch. So
you spent 40 minutes this
could
weekend watching NASCAR.
If I watched the had I watched the trucks in 20 and the Xfinity in 20, it would have been an hour, a little over an hour of my weekend. But here's the thing.
But flashback to last week, you weren't going to watch any of it.
I didn't watch any of it live. I watched the highlight packages.
I watched 5 laps live, which took a total of 15 minutes for me.
Right.
So was that the?
I'm surprised it only took 15 minutes. I mean, I could have taken an hour.
No, because I just tuned in when it was going green. The minute it went caution, right off the TV.
Right off the TV.
Didn't need to watch any more of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm shocked there was a caution within 5 minutes. That's 5 laps or whatever the hell it was.
No. I watched lap 1.
Yeah.
Then I watched lap 198, and then saw the real 500 winner get crowned when the caution at 199 came out, and then I watched the last green white checkered flag.
Who was the real winner?
The real winner.
Eric Amarillo?
In his quote, if it was 1998.
Who was this?
Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Oh, because he was the true leader at 500 miles,
because
which ends the race.
Yeah,
in my
we'll
book.
get to this after we get to the end of the race. Anyways, I got.
And Sean, did you know that this was the longest Daytona 500?
Clarify that. Longest distance
by laps. By laps.
Yes. By laps. Yes, not time.
What do you mean longest?
No, not time.
Meaning it wasn't 500. It wasn't 500 miles. It was 500.
Because we have to do the stupid green white checker.
Yeah, I think it was
which is
210, 211.
Okay, hey, they got no one to blame but themselves because that just it elicits more crashes. So, anyways, whatever. This is just dumb racing, anyways. So, so we had qualifying, then we had the duels, and guys are pulling out, and no one's practiced pit lane entries. Guys are pulling on the track. Car is hopping worse than the Mercedes from last year. Porpoising.
A car.
It still doesn't matter. That car, had they had some type of practice before qualifying, would have found out the problem. So, again, well done NASCAR, because that makes complete sense. Impound everything. And then, we have some crashes and pit lane violations and over-the-wall issues. I mean, again, just the typical S show that is NASCAR, which all leads into 2 days of practice on Friday and a practice day on Saturday, which then leads us into the Great American Race, as they like to say.
It is the Great American Race.
Well, it used to be the Great American Race, Nate. It's not the Great American Race.
Sean, I enjoyed watching it. The only thing I had a real problem with was the commercials and maybe too much overtime. But
that was the commercial issue was a hot button issue, following up on the fans from NASCAR. I mean, from the IMSA weekend. So
it kind of rolled over to the Fox stations too.
I think these racing organizations need to really start looking into having app and streaming packages where you can buy a non-commercial free interrupted package for whatever.
Well, is Peacock doing that?
No.
Exactly.
So
no.
You
can get the stream, but then it's like they're going to screw you over by not giving the ads.
No, what I'm saying
giving you the ads.
I'm saying is that IMSA on their package should charge you whatever for unlimited free commercial and uninterrupted thing. NASCAR should do the same thing. Then you won't have to be subjected to this.
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
It was
I agree 100%.
It was brutal. I did hear that they cut away several times, and as soon as they cut away, there was an accident or a caution.
Well, there's three certain situations. One, there was a Wendy's thing that just like cut it off, and it was like side by side, and they gave you the tiny screen. Then there was Liberty Mutual, where as soon as they went to commercial or side by side again, there's a wreck with Ryan Blaney and Tyler Reddick, and trying to think of the other one. There was another really Toyota. Toyota had this one where it's like Mike Joyce said, we're going to go commercial free thanks to Toyota, and it was only a minute, and then they went to commercial.
They went commercial free for a minute, and then they switched to a commercial.
So yeah,
right.
That's not commercial free.
No, that's
like,
not
come on.
All right, so
to make it clear, we're not sponsored by any of those.
We're not sponsored.
No,
yeah.
we're actually trashing them.
We'll gladly take any sponsorship that you provide, but we'll be a go towards merch. Anyways.
Yeah, right. Toyota comes out. It's just like, we want to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you guys are great.
Yep. So we had.
I have a Toyota.
It seems like, from my viewing of the race, which was very in depth, the Fords were good out front. Safe to say.
Very much so. Very orchestrated.
Bad Brad and Chris Buescher.
It was his year.
Huh?
It was going to be his year.
It was. The word was.
Yeah, it was.
But anyways, never mind.
Him and Chris Buescher were looking really good up front.
They looked strong in that phase. And both towards the end of the race, whenever Bad Brad won the
Brad
first
Keselowski
stage.
won stage one.
Yes, yeah. And then it was just a lot of riding around, which was fine.
Which, I mean, I did some of the iRacing Daytona 500 tonight, and I understand why they do that now.
Right.
Because you got to get to the finish.
In iRacing, you can also hit Control-Alt-Delete and restart your race.
Yeah, or like lag out or something.
Yeah. So
it was a blown engine.
It was. Some of the stuff was interesting. Was watching guys line up to pit. So they were a lot of the folks were pitting by brand, manufacturer, but
some sort of alliance. And they would wave their hand out on the back straightaway.
But if you were kind of in the mix with those guys, you had to come with them.
Yeah,
because you couldn't get hosed. So which was interesting.
You can't go to pit road by yourself because then you lose the draft and you're out.
You're doomed. But what was interesting was some of the entries into pit road were fantastic.
Like Riley Herbst spinning out with
Riley
Ware's
Herbst.
car?
Yep, that was.
He still somehow got a top 10 out of that.
I know.
Crazy.
So I mean that was interesting, and again that goes back to how much practice did they have over the weekend?
I'm gonna call it zero.
Zero. Thank you. Yeah.
And look, just to clarify, the racing, fine. The way that NASCAR has put on this event. That's
this is any of their events.
That's kind of where a lot of the criticism is coming from.
Yeah, I know, and it's all about we're all about saving costs here at NASCAR.
Yeah, like once it goes green,
I don't know. I could argue that
there is racing that does go on now, whether you agree with maneuvers.
I'm not a super speedway fan. So, anyways,
super speedway or restrictor plate fan.
Well, super speedway and restrictor, it's synonymous.
Well, but beforehand, the super speedways weren't restricted.
When?
where Christian's going with this.
I mean, before
is
Bobby
because
Allison
now,
went into the fence, yeah, that was fine. I had no problem with that. And also, there were far less big ones because of that.
Yeah, because they're spread out.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's not the show.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
not
The
the
show
show.
is until someone gets killed. I get it.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
they changed that because someone probably got seriously injured.
Well, somebody's going to get seriously hurt because Kyle Larson didn't exactly go caressing into the wall at the end of the race. He sort of went head in. Okay,
that was
and
pretty
there was
bad.
also another one where somebody went and I saw the highlight. They did a slow-mo on it. Oh, it was Tyler Reddick. He creamed the wall and his head moved like quite a bit. He even had a Hans on. So,
Well, and even Kyle Busch in the duels when Daniel Suarez got into the back of him, his head moved forward pretty severely.
What do you mean got into the back to him? He actually turned him, Nate. That wasn't getting into the back of him. That was turning him.
That's kind of the same thing.
I think that was a little Mexican justice there for Kyle taking a gun south of the border.
Yeah, the story continues.
The story to be continued. Yeah,
it did. Mexican authorities.
Yeah, they put it. Yeah, it was a bounty they put out on him.
Daniel Suarez was the only guy that knew about it. No, for the record, I love Daniel Suarez.
It was fine. It was just
driver.
like
He
you
needs
didn't
to
need.
stay
I
in the
just
Cup
don't think he
Series.
needed to be working Bush over like that. But, anyways,
It's gonna happen with super speed.
fortunately, that was in my 20 minutes of the duels. All right, this section is going on far further.
Wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. So we get to the third stage, and this is when Clint Boyer
chaos.
gets all fired up.
Well, I would too, because I mean, there's theoretically no more set cautions going forward, but
Right.
maybe predicted cautions.
Right. But Clint gets all wound up.
You think he works for Pepsi?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, see, now that's someone that
That's a
watched
good
the
one.
race.
That's a
Christian,
good one.
Sean, Christian watched the race.
Nate,
Okay.
in the 20-minute highlight package, there was the Pepsi thing was in there. It was in there.
Jeez. That's in the
This race is
highlight
really
reel?
good.
Yes.
Or is it?
Or is it? Yes.
I don't know. I'm just an actor.
I'm just an actor.
That is a good.
Yeah. So, we kind of, so now we're set up for the end of the race, and, now everyone's coming to the front. Now, this is where it got exciting for me, because JJ comes to the front.
He was moving, man.
Shocked.
He was moving from the
Yeah, I know.
front,
It's
the far back.
surprising. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what, Christian? That's a great way to say it. Shocked. Proving that he's probably the best
he had
driver
like
out
a
there.
1 to 100 odds against him. That was going to be free money if he won.
Nate, it doesn't matter. He's the best driver out there.
Not Larson.
No, well, Larson is. I'm just saying.
He's the most experienced,
He's the GOAT.
I was like,
End
I
of the
was
field.
like,
and
Yeah.
he's had a lot of success for numerous reasons. But
Being in
you have to
NASCAR.
have
Yep.
talent. as well.
yeah, he's
So,
got talent.
he-
so,
yeah.
anyways, so now we get to the end, and then we start. Then, as Clint goes, all hell breaks loose. So it just was like you knew this was coming.
What was coming?
This is why.
Is this like the script?
I watched
Is this the script?
I watched the first lap of
Yep.
every race, and like this just as a viewer.
Yep.
When if I'm tuning into a NASCAR race
Right.
on TV, I watch the first lap because if there's no caution, then good for them. They move on.
Right.
I go to the last, and then I tune back in for the last 5 laps because sure enough, there's going to be a caution.
Yeah.
Wait. We didn't even say who won stage 2.
Who won?
Who won?
Watermelon Man.
Oh, okay. Ross Chastain. That's good.
There you go.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Although I'll get to it at the end of the race. Christian was sitting pretty with all his picks from last week, actually.
I was. There was one point I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, it's
You had
nice.
Amarillo, Almendinger,
and Suarez.
Allmendinger was looking
Yeah.
really strong at the end.
I know. I was like,
I was like, what?
I was like,
Holly Grayson?
I was like,
okay.
I was watching this, and Christian's like, I'm going, oh my god, Christian, my Christian can sweep the top 3 spots here.
But I was also but Speaking of that, I was also looking at the rest of the top 10, and all of us had a ton of people still in there.
I know, we still had people in there.
So we were all looking pretty
good. Sadly, Logano was still in there. But anyways.
I said that as a joke, too, last week.
Oh, Logano. I know. So,
he's very surprised in NASCAR.
Along with Jimmy Johnson comes the number 67 Black Rifle coffee car.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So,
skateboarder himself.
No.
He didn't
No. He was
just dirt bikes and
he was motocross, rallycross, base jumping. You want to get into that? Yeah. Travis.
And he led a lap.
Yes, he did lead a lap. And he was very excited about that, which was pretty cool. At least somebody brought some enthusiasm. Well, I shouldn't. Connor Daly brought some enthusiasm. It was too bad he was driving a POS car. But I mean, he brought some enthusiasm.
Mayweather needs to bring a better car next time.
Anyways, so let's just salute Connor for finishing the race and dealing with what he had to deal with. I mean, Travis.
He didn't finish last.
No, he didn't.
Nope.
He finished 29th.
Nope. He didn't crash out like a bunch of them. Travis got crashed out at the end, but finished 11th. And he could have been in the top 5 had he not gotten crashed out because of the stupidity of drivers at the end of the race. So that sets it up for we have a crash, and then it sets it up for overtime.
Well, let's kind of set the stage. It was Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon that worked their way up to the front, passing Keselowski and Chris Buescher to set themselves up with 3 to go.
And then what happened?
And then Daniel Suarez had a flat tire.
Right. And then what happened?
Green, white, checker.
Yeah. And who started the whole fiasco?
Daniel Suarez.
No.
Well, the caution.
Grandpa Richard's favorite grandson.
Austin. Yeah. I'll tell you what. When I saw that live, I was like, they didn't shoot the camera back. I was like, oh my god, there's a huge one behind. And then the big one happened.
Yeah.
With Austin Dillon getting turned. And,
or turning, and doing his usual punching people out of the way.
Well, he got turned by William Byron, and William Byron was getting really aggressive.
That's all right. That's called payback. Because Austin's never seen somebody who didn't want to turn. Meanwhile,
Eric Almirola, for example,
Austin Cindric, as well.
More recently.
Yeah. Okay. So enough of that. So we come to. Is it green white checker?
Another green white checker.
Green white checker.
So, double overtime.
So now this is, as Nate says, this now creates the longest Daytona 500 in history.
Because we didn't just do 500 miles.
No,
we did 520.
We got to try and finish under green, but our guys can't do it.
Well, they did technically. I mean, if you want to call it that, but the race should have been finished in the caution if we're going by the old rules.
Yeah. So
at the end,
surprise.
So it was okay. This restart was so good because it was Ricky Stenhouse on the top lane, and this is a little different this year. They had to choose
when you refer to Ricky Stenhouse, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yes.
And then Kyle Larson was on the bottom lane, and it was set up to And I'll tell you what, the top 3 of the top 5 cars were dirt drivers.
Yes, they were.
Dirt track drivers.
Yes,
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. being one, Kyle Larson, and Christopher Bell.
Yep.
And I'd even add Alex Bowman to that list because he was up there in the thick of things, and he's a dirt track driver.
Buscher was in there.
Yeah.
Christian, didn't you race against Buscher?
Chris Buescher and Keselowski were outside the top 10.
Christian raced against Chris Buescher.
And Dakota Armstrong. If I remember.
Oh, that's right.
I was trying to.
Whatever happened to him? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Not even racing ARCA.
Look at that.
But,
wow. So now Stenhouse Jr. is in a bad spot. Let me rephrase that because he was there before and got wiped out. in past
Last
races.
year.
Yes.
Last year, actually. Yeah, he was in the thick of the finish for last year's finish.
They went, he went.
Yes.
And he did a tremendous job.
Well, and he was getting pushed by Joe Logano and Kyle Busch and Bubba Wallace on the high side. So it was those 4 cars pushing each other, getting to the white flag. And Kyle Larson had Christopher Bell and Alex Bowman and AJ Allmendinger behind him.
That's right.
So they were pushing each other, getting to the finish. And at this point, getting to the white flag, it was Travis Pastrana and Denny Hamlin that just cracked the top 10.
Yep.
And we're heading to the white flag, and it was getting really intense.
Right.
But Ricky Stenhouse had a huge lead going to the line, so I was thinking they were going to split. Ricky Stenhouse.
And he did a fantastic move. I have to admit this.
He had to drop to the bottom, because if he went to the high side, Joe Logano would have faked it and maybe gone to the middle.
He did a great thing. He went up a little bit, and it kind of caused Logano to pause, and then he dropped down, and I was like, oh, that was awesome.
wait. Oh, yes. That move, that's what won him the Daytona 500.
He went up. He threw the dummy at Logano, and Logano bit on it.
Yeah, because
then
he sold him that he was going to go with him for a while, and then Ricky Stenhouse
and then we have chaos ensues.
Well, when they got the white, Kyle Larson went up through the middle to try to take it, but no one went with him. Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, they did not go with him.
Right.
And they ended up pushing Ricky Stenhouse, who originally lost the lead to Logano. Now they got momentum on the low side, and just in the nick of time, that's when Eric Almirola got into Travis Pastrana in turning Kyle Larson into the wall, head on.
Yeah, it was a big hit. Big hit.
Keselowski was involved. I threw the remote. I mean,
I didn't. If I had noticed it live, which I did, I saw it on replay. I would have had a drink to that.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace was involved.
I can't stand bad Brad.
Anyways, there's a lot of. Hey, you know what? Listen, all you had to do, Sean, was see the 2012 season with him and Paul Wolfe out dueling Jimmy Johnson in those last few races.
Somehow we just journeyed back 11 years.
That's what sold me being a Keselowski fan.
Right.
No, that is the coolest stuff
that's
you'll ever
fantastic,
see.
Nate. That's awesome. Anyways,
anyway, back to the Great American Race.
So we come to the finish, and Stenhouse Jr. wins the race.
Yeah, top to bottom.
Right.
Ricky Stenhouse
which is
Jr.
great because actually JT Doherty Racing is a very small team.
Brad Doherty.
One car team.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, so good for them. Who's their alliance with? Childress? Or are they a Ford? What are they?
They're Chevy. I don't know if it's Hendrick or Childress.
Right. So they have an engine alliance and some stuff. But good for them. I heard it's like they got 40 people that are in the shop and all that. So awesome for them. Congrats to the owners. That's good for Brad. He's been in the sport for a long time as an owner.
Yeah.
He worked his way up. He came up through trucks, Xfinity, and things like that. So to get to Cup. Not the first time.
That 47 car
not the first time.
Xfinity for a while.
Right. Not the first time that he's been to the winner's lane. They did win a road race with the Dinger.
Yeah.
And did they not win with Ambrose?
No, they almost did at Sonoma,
Glen?
but he hit. Marcus Ambrose probably did one of the dumbest things I think I've ever seen a NASCAR driver do. He hit the clutch or shut the engine off going on an uphill, and then the engine stalled, and he's like, "What happened?"
All right. Okay. Well, I'm there you go. He's from down under. He got confused. He's a good driver, but just saying.
He is, but I mean.
So I think that's a good win.
That's a great win.
Much like Michael McDowell winning.
Well, and get this too. The last time Ricky Stenhouse Jr. won was when he won at Daytona, the July race in 2017.
Was he married with Danica then?
Well, not married. I think they're still like
dating
dating. Yeah.
They did have one of the all-time.
Only time Danica Patrick got into victory lane in the Cup Series. But.
Oh, that's right. Somebody did say that. Yeah. That little relationship did spawn one of the best radio messages ever.
In New Hampshire when they wrecked each other.
Yeah, and she came on screaming and yelling, and like, who effing hit me? He goes, the 47. What? Or was he driving the 17?
17.
The 17.
Yeah, that was Roush
when he
Fenway
was
at
a
the time.
Roush, right?
Yep.
And he goes, you two can talk back in the bus.
Yeah, right.
That was awesome.
You know who said something too? It was Wally Dollenbach.
I
He was
love
in
it.
the booth, and he was like, "They're not going to be talking much at dinner tonight."
There we go. Love it. Anyways, so congrats to Ricky. I like that.
Yeah, that was cool. And you know what was even cooler?
His
he
dad.
went to Waffle House right after.
He did. Like 3 in the morning.
It brought the trophy.
Yeah,
over
I'm a
there,
big
and
fan
then-
of his dad. His dad was whooping it up. His dad seems like a good big Texan guy. So cool, but good to see. Again, like Nate, what you said was guys that came up racing dart.
Yeah, in the thick of it.
Yeah, in the
At the
thick of
end.
it. Yep.
But you know what else too? This was a big victory for Ricky Stenhouse, and they added his crew chief from when he won the
Yes.
2 Xfinity titles.
Yes, Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly,
Yes.
and so he's a Daytona 500 winning crew chief now.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Yep,
I'm
very
glad
cool.
they got together, and look, they might win more than
Well,
just Daytona.
here-
They just might with that
Nate
combination.
just put the kiss of death on the JT.
They just
card.
might. Hang on.
Nate,
I'm not trying to jinx
Nate,
it. And now
Nate, I was just gonna
I just
go.
did.
I was gonna celebrate something that's definitely happened. They're locked into the chase. All right, so
they're
good for
in the
them.
All Star race,
and they're
at
in the All Star
North
race.
Wilkesboro now.
So there they go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
them.
that's all good.
Nate's out there going, oh, there's gonna be the championship winner there, and like that's gonna be the kiss of death. Way to go, Nate. Awesome. Anyways, so
Ricky
that
Stenhouse Jr., the
good
final
stuff there.
four
Good
at
stuff
Phoenix.
there.
Yeah.
Just to clarify on Nate's longest race ever, they did 212 laps, so it's a total of 530 miles.
Wow,
So
amazing.
there you go. Not the longest timed race, which that still
Yeah, 5 laps. Yeah.
Time
Still up
race,
there.
does that include rain delays?
the
Yeah.
longest time
Yeah.
race that I'm finding is
2012.
Well, I guess 2011 in the new age, but the longest race,
New age.
the longest race is 1960 with 4 hours.
Oof.
So I'm not.
Shot.
Wow.
I'm just looking.
Did you watch that race, Sean?
No, that was before my time.
Wow, low blow, Nate.
That was before my time, but that was driving some animal cars, though.
So
All right.
Rock on.
Well, there we go, and we're on to Fontana.
For the last time, and then they're going to turn
Auto
into
Club?
a short track.
Oh,
which I'm
Auto
really
Club.
pissed.
Auto Club
Auto-
Speedway. It's
Auto
not,
Club
it's
Speedway,
not
sorry.
Fontana anymore.
So, Sean, I got what you're saying. I got you.
Well, I'm my weekend will not consist of watching any of that. So, anyways,
Oh, it will with me. Sunday,
go.
baby. Bring
Oh.
it on.
Jesus. Anyways, wow. Where do you go from after that?
Right.
How
Well,
about something-
after I'm done finishing watching Drive to Survive, of course, when it comes out Friday, when I binge watch it.
How about we pivot to
Yeah, big time.
to Garage 56?
Oh yeah,
At Sebring.
Sebring.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
once again,
Ma-
proving that he's an Iron Man. Jimmy Johnson appears magically on Monday morning at Sebring. Jesus Christ. I love him.
To do what?
Test and cook.
Test how long?
Was it a 24-hour test?
A 24
24-hour
hours.
test at Sebring. Yeah. Did JB test the car too?
Yes, I believe all 4 of them were
All
there.
4 of them.
Yeah.
So what did they do?
Well,
But-
sorry, all 3 plus the driver.
you know what? It's a really
Plus the
no.
coach.
But
Yeah.
but it's really cool. You know what? If you think about the 4 drivers, you got JJ, you got JB, and you got JT.
Right.
Right, and then you got MR. You got Rocky. Are they gonna seriously just do this with 3 drivers?
Yes, and then Jordan's there as the reserve.
But can they add them
spare.
if they need a 4th
They
driver?
should add him. They should add.
I think it's a lot to ask for 3 guys. But, well, I shouldn't say that. 'cause
his Jordan's commitment is
he's not running. He's not running Corvette this year.
No, that's right.
Yeah, they're not running this year.
Yeah, no, he might. They
I'd
might add.
say
him.
they add him.
Well, I mean, the amount of time he's out in the car.
Well,
I mean,
we'll
why
see
not
what
at this
happens.
point?
Yeah, you never know, but he could be there also.
He'll probably be there
yeah.
anyways.
Anyways, so anyways.
Wait. So now I got a bigger question. Does Jordan Taylor eventually join NASCAR?
No,
Why
no,
not?
because
I think he'd do
because
great.
next year when they
Wayne Taylor making a team. and putting Jordan Taylor in it.
It won't be Wayne Taylor.
Forget it.
It won't be
That's
Wayne.
amazing.
It won't be Wayne Taylor. And honestly, Nate, it's not going to be amazing. I don't really think NASCAR is where Jordan is would be a skilled.
Just tell him that's where the money
driver.
is.
Yeah, that's fine, Nate. But then again, if you want to run the mid pack, go right ahead. That's
just a wild, wild west over there.
Anyway,
Ricky Stenhouse can win the Daytona 500. Jordan Taylor can definitely win.
Yeah, Nate. Nate, your
race.
blind enthusiasm is amazing. Anyways,
it's not blind. I have 4 eyes. What?
He's not gonna.
Doesn't
no.
have 4 eyes.
Anyways, he's got a better shot of running an IndyCar than he does in NASCAR. So, anyways.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, why not?
Ricky Taylor does.
Why doesn't Jordan? I honestly,
I mean, Ricky's got the best shot at.
Ricky's got the best shot.
Ricky's got F1.
At F1, he's got a super license. So he's all
someone
set. Him and Newgarden.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
anyways, moving on. So, that's cool. So
So
I
on
saw
top,
some
on
great
top
stuff
of the
on that.
on top of the 24-hour test that they did,
Yep.
they also unveiled their livery that
Which
they're going to be
looked
running.
very nice. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. The cool
I like
thing is, you know what's cool about this car? The door doesn't open. They have to climb out. It's old school.
Oh,
well, yeah.
awesome.
I mean, that's a NASCAR. So that's the way they have to do it. Or at least the way they should do it.
Anyways. Nate, that's why they used to do it in sports car racing too. They used to climb through the door, climb through the window.
But did they have a tube frame or?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like back in the day, you didn't.
nice.
The doors didn't open.
There's two.
Is this
two
Trans
frame-
Am 2?
Huh? No. Like back in the 1970s in Trans Am racing, with the full body Mustangs, the Camaros, the Javelins, and Chargers and Challengers, the doors
Right.
didn't open.
Yeah.
They were all
that's what I'm
welded
saying.
shut, so you climbed through
Yeah.
the thing. And then
Nice.
until you got to like silhouette sports car racing with the 935s and stuff, that's when the doors started opening and stuff. But even like I don't
Gotcha.
even think like in the 70s, 75 and stuff with the decom Monzas that ran in IMSA, I don't even think those. I think you had to climb in. Those was like stock cars. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so that's good news. So what they so after this. That now what's their next thing? Another long test session, probably.
I'm sure more testing probably.
yeah.
Because I mean they still have
So JJ,
4 months until the race.
JJ and Chad Knaus and those guys all left Daytona and went down there the next day for a 24-hour test.
Right.
Yeah.
That is nuts. God love them. That's awesome. I did see some highlights from it. It's pretty cool.
So, Sean, if you had the opportunity to go to Daytona 500 and to do some Sebring testing, would you do it?
I would go to Sebring test.
Well, you have to do both.
No. Nate, why are you asking me?
Okay.
Nate, I don't want
I'm
to.
trying.
Nate, I
I'm
don't-
trying
I-
here.
Nate,
you
I
know,
don't want anything to do.
the Daytona 500
No,
is
I
so
don't want.
good.
I don't want anything to do with a NASCAR race.
My hands were sweating watching the race. I thought it was such
Like I
a
said,
good-ass
I'll be
race.
tuning into the NASCAR road races when we don't have stage racing, so that's good. Anyways, moving on. So in literally breaking news
Breaking, yeah.
from Formula One,
I've been waiting on this.
Lance Stroll
Took a stroll on the bike.
is out of preseason testing
Oh, what happened?
due to an incident or an injury sustained in a bike accident. So it's just, I don't know. I know we're laughing. It's honestly, I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay.
I don't wish harm on anyone.
But
Just out of all the ones to miss testing, it's just
him missing this is just like ridiculous.
Like,
So it looks like
him.
Philippe Dragovich will be in the car.
Now,
will
that's
he?
a good driver
Yes,
to put in.
yes.
He will be.
Because
He
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the first reserve driver.
Correct. The last thing that I saw was
What were they talking? Stoffel?
no. Your 2 reserve drivers are Dragovich and Stoffel.
Right.
But the only other thing that I saw was McLaren has dibs on them as well if they ever need to call on them.
Whatever.
It's because they both own Mercedes engines.
Yeah, whatever.
That's
So,
what they
I mean, Zach has everyone under contract. Anyways, so I think Dragovich is
Yeah,
going to be
right.
the guy in the car.
I'm under
Now-
contract with him.
I'll be
You
honest
are.
with you.
well,
I'll be honest with you. I don't know why they just don't run Fred both days because honestly, they're going to get more out of Fred in the car 2 days than they are going to Dragovich. And I like Dragovich.
the one speculation that I saw was you bring back Vettel in for for these days of testing.
You know,
I
thought that would be a thing,
Yeah,
and then I was also thinking Nicholas Latifi. I mean, like F1 drivers that bring something to the table. They have experience.
Well, I would out of those two, I'd probably pick Vettel just because he knows the car from last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he's working with it.
Yeah.
But Vettel is also kind of a far out reach.
But
I would expect
the humorous thing
Drugovich.
is that it's Lance Stroll. So
It's
just, the hits just
if
keep
this
coming.
is not a sign to get, I know.
The hits just keep coming.
Well, it's like for me, I'm just thinking of, God, when is he going to retire already?
who?
You know, he's only 24.
Lance Stroll.
Okay,
Like, okay,
He's 20.
great,
He's 20.
but
He's not going to retire.
you're going to
Nate.
keep him on until he's 30,
Nate,
40?
Nate.
Like, what is it?
Nate,
don't
Nate.
look.
Who owns the team?
Sean, I get who owns the team. I get who's behind this. I get them who's the mastermind behind this.
And right.
But aren't you gonna like maybe look in the mirror at one point and go like, gee, you know, maybe I should put a
yes,
second
they
driver
should.
in that's actually relevant.
Yes, they should.
Like, I've already seen way too much. Coda last year, it was just the straw that broke the camel's back for me.
Nate sounds like us against NASCAR.
I don't get how you can keep. Sorry, you're gonna have to bleep that. Yeah.
Wow. Did you get the timestamp on that?
Oh God, I've had it with Lance Stroll.
All right, there we go.
Like, what kind of clown show are you gonna put? He's putting more of a clown show on that Ferrari.
I got it.
Doing the crap he's doing.
That's fine.
Man, what a.
Well, there you go. Nate's harsh opinions about Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll,
Right.
what a.
He's only 24.
Amazing.
I know.
I'm glad he
Shocking.
got a joke pull at Turkey. I'm glad
in a rain
that
event.
I could have gotten a pull at Turkey if you put me out with a minute left. Like, you know, like.
Moving on to other F1 news.
Hold on. I do have to not. This is me defending Lance to some degree, but it's more just playing
Like devil's
advocate. That's more.
Yeah,
I'm still.
You're not the devil, Paul.
I'm not a spy.
You're not a.
Go have horns.
You didn't buy a balloon.
But let me.
Yeah. Oh.
Let me put it this way.
Pennywise.
I understand he comes for money and he basically can have the best seat and the best tools at his disposal. I get that. He has won an FIA Formula 3 European Championship. He has won a Toyota Racing Series, and he's also won an Italian F4 Championship. And then amongst those, he also finished in an FIA F3 European Championship 5th, and prior to being in F1. Okay. If you want to go before that, he did win SCUSA Supernats back in 2012, and had some karting success there. Obviously, his younger success in Canada is where he's gotten a lot of, but it's also not. It's not like he's finishing dead last in every single championship either. Like, he is a good driver. For as much as I don't think he's F1 caliber, but he's definitely up there with talent.
Right, but his in race antics.
He's off outside of just driving a fast lap. His interaction with other drivers.
His in race antics. Just say it. In race antics.
Just him at Monza. I'm starting to think about.
Anyways,
so there is a difference in.
So wouldn't it behoove? That's a good word. Aston. And it'd be nice to get your reserve driver some track time, but you have a very limited schedule here. It's 2 days or a day and a half. I don't even know what the heck it is. Wouldn't it be best just to let Fred drive the car for the 2 days and get as much positive feedback back from him?
What did McLaren do last year when Ricciardo was out?
They had Lando drove.
He just drove.
Yes,
all the time.
Lando drove all the time. That's right. So I that's just my opinion on this. You know, I don't really see. Especially when it's a preseason. This is it. This is like the big test.
Yeah.
Like I get that drug. Like okay, fine. Put Dragovich in the end. Like let him drive like 20 laps at the end. I don't really care. But I mean, let Fred handle the bulk of your test.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd say
here's the other thing. Why is it that they can't run two cars?
I don't get that.
Because, like, what's the other car? Like, yeah, see, this is, again, this gets back to the NASCAR thing with the qualifying and, like, the impound. Anyways, so I'm getting, which is, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just, like, it's a race weekend, and, you know, anyways. So, moving on. So, no Stroll.
Yeah.
Supposedly he has a cast on his arm. That is the unconfirmed report. Elsewhere, for you Mercedes fans, things are not looking all well, according to reports.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
Apparently,
who broke? Did somebody break something?
Yes.
Toto Wolff?
Something. Well, something started very bouncy.
Oh no!
In the demonstration days, honestly, this has come over from some of the sim work that has been leaked to the media. That the car still is suffering from porpoising. They haven't got it fully resolved. Then during some demo test or whatever, allegedly the car broke something in the rear suspension, and they don't know why. So now they're heading into this without this full demo stuff. And
in a demo run where you don't run the car at full speed.
Where you don't run the car at full speed. Unless you're Ferrari, who ran the car at full speed. Anyways. So that was interesting. So hopefully you Mercedes fans out there, Rich Hemingway.
That's retarded.
No reason.
No reason. Uncalled for. Uncalled for. But
unfiltered.
So we'll see if there'll be some more headphone throwing and stuff as we head into the season. From
Bose doesn't sponsor them
from
anymore.
Hair Toto.
Yes, we know that, Nate.
Yes. Yeah, I just like to mention it every time that's brought up.
I know.
Okay.
So
I have a rant.
Are we done? Are we done with Formula One, or is this a Formula One rant?
This is an F1 rant.
Yes.
Is this from about team?
I want to hear this.
This is about
#LH.
No, this is just about
team
the previous week of car launches, and everyone's reactions to deliveries.
Oh.
Wait, so before your rant, do you have a favorite? Like
yes, Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Okay.
Ferrari.
Yeah,
Ferrari.
And again, sorry to interrupt, but
my second.
Ferrari would be my favorite.
My second is Aston Martin.
Okay.
And my third, I made fun of the Michelob Ultra sponsorship, but my third is Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What says you, Christian?
Alfa Romeo.
I was gonna say Alfa Romeo and McLaren are probably
good.
My second and third.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
What's the rant? Go for it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No F-bombs.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I already got one.
The whole week leading up, we have all these car launches, and then Mercedes is like one of the last two.
Yeah.
Fine. The whole time, everyone's like, "Oh, Red Bull livery, you couldn't have done anything different." What do you expect of them?
It's iconic.
Right? What do you expect? That's the brand.
It's the brand.
That's what they do.
Yeah. It's a Red Bull.
Okay, you want to tell Ferrari to not be red?
Right?
Like, just
too much red.
With Ferrari,
chill,
the one thing I did like
red.
was when they went to Monza and they put that slash of yellow on it. Or what race did they do the yellow?
Monza.
It was
Abu Dhabi. Or
no. It was either Monza or
that looked really nice on the car. But that's now transcended over to the hypercar. So anyways, go ahead, Christian. Sorry.
Then, the rest of the cars come out, and I think McLaren probably gets the worst of it because they're all like, well, the car looks crap. Or actually, sorry, Aston got the worst of that.
Really?
I thought Aston got the worst of it because I saw stuff where Aston was like, nothing changed in the car. I'm like, a lot of stuff changed on it.
car.
Like if you took a second to really look at the car,
those front by front comparisons of the car, were quite telling.
From a technical standpoint, the Aston had a ton of stuff change from the side pods.
I thought the livery looked fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but everyone, I think, getting back to the McLaren, I think everyone was like, oh. Well, you joked about it. You said the meme, but it's like, oh, all they did was like peel off some orange and it's all black. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's more black on the car. It's awful, terrible stuff. Mercedes unveil comes, all things black, sexiest car on the grid.
Oh, hashtag Team LH.
It is.
Yeah. Like, come on.
You cannot rip every other team for exposing carbon and running more black on the livery and then saying all black is great. It's like it's not even like Mercedes is all black. They have black vinyl on some of the car for some of their graphics and decals, and then a lot of it is carbon exposed.
So was the lead the lead people who thought this was a beautiful car, were they all Sky F1 pundits?
No. This was
all Sky
F1 pundits because they're all they're in the bag for Mercedes.
Ex pundits.
No,
Johnny Herbert,
Poole, the devil himself.
The fraud.
Okay.
Anyways,
and this is just about the livery.
You're right.
Nothing. Like I just don't get it. And they're like, well, like it's like having more black on the car or having more carbon exposed doesn't look good or anything like that. I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
All right. What makes a car sexy is when it wins.
Yeah.
Name me a car that you think looks sexy that didn't win a race, that didn't win a championship.
The Haas Rich Energy car.
No. Well, yeah, but that was a rip-off livery.
I was just kidding.
I'm going to say in the 1970s, before Lotus got really hot, when Mario came over with Ronnie Peterson, the John Player Specials, Lotuses,
any cigarette brand car that's really good.
No. The Marlboro Texaco McLarens were good-looking cars.
Yep.
Ooh.
And I know cigarette. I know it's a cigarette brand, but the Ligier Gatin livery Ligiers.
So
I believe
but those cars,
any cigarette brand
those
car
things,
looks
they
great.
they were awesome because of branding and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
And none of those cars won a race, did they?
It took them a while to win races, but the Ligiers didn't win for a long time. Yeah.
Right, but eventually that livery and style did
win. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So which then enshrines the livery.
Lotus, when it came on with JPS, when it first came on, Emerson Fittipaldi won the world championship in a beautifully designed car. Then they went through a doldrum, as teams do, and they didn't win anything. Williams with their Saudi cars in the late 70s before Alan Jones came along. Those cars were beautiful looking cars, but they didn't win anything. So I get what that is like,
just
don't rip and then turn around and go, oh my god, it's a beautiful car in black.
Because look, if somehow McLaren wins the championships this year, or Aston wins the championships this year, you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like you just
I think we were more ripping the car launches themselves.
Yes,
right.
The launch
because the two that stand out to me, obviously Ferrari did it. Ferrari wins by a mile. The number 2 launch, and it pains me to say this, was Aston.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it. It was glitz. It was, and we got to hear from Lawrence, and honestly, he didn't give me corporate gobbledygook. He gave me some heartfelt passion. He actually exposed himself as being, he had a great line. He says, yeah, I'm a hothead. I'm like, well, I like to hear that. No, it's fine. I don't care.
No, it's true. I welcome it. Yeah.
Sorry, that just reminded me of this clip that I saw on Barstool with Kyle Busch when he was talking about Logano.
Oh, the two-faced thing?
Yeah, but Kyle was at least like, look, like, at least with me.
I'm a dick.
I'm a dick, like through and through.
Okay.
Like, sorry. Anyways, back to F1.
No, but it's
I
think
know
that's good. But I don't need like Red Bull, I was disappointed because it was just like a corporate marketing event. And I know they're a marketing company, but it was disappointing. McLaren, it's just too corporate.
Yes, but that's
Zach.
That's the way they are too. So I'm not. It's not like I wasn't expecting.
AlphaTauri, I have no idea because it was at Fashion Week.
It's fashion, and so I don't understand fashion.
Didn't get me. I didn't see. Unfortunately, didn't see the Alfa Romeo launch, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I didn't. I think I missed that one too.
Williams,
the Red Bull one was the worst.
Didn't see it. I saw the post like pictures. Alpine, I heard, was horrendous.
That bad?
Well, their car also got leaked too.
Their car got leaked, and
they did
the
their
whole
demo
thing was terrible.
Too. But
well, I mean, and you want to hear something too?
And we didn't. Haas was just like, what did Haas do? Just roll it out of the garage and go, "Here's our car." Pretty much.
I think so.
I mean, basically.
I mean, look, like there's a clear difference between the teams at the front of the grid and the teams at the back of the grid. Yeah. So don't give me I completely understand some of the teams at the back of the grid not spending the money on a launch and whatnot.
I get it, but I just feel that Ferrari got it right.
100%.
I wish. And I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect. It was awesome. The car was on track, but the fact that they had this was my thing. It was just the two drivers and Fred, and that was it. Okay. That was it. The three main figures at Ferrari, and that was it.
Yeah.
And the cars in the car. That was perfect. It was awesome. You got to see it on the track and running. Yeah, and the fans and the passion that they bring. So they win. And I don't care. Somebody is going to have to do something mega going forward to beat that. Ferrari can roll out the same dog and pony show next year, and they still win it, and I'm going to still watch it. Yeah. I don't really care. But, yeah, that's kind of garbage to do what people – yeah, that's –
look.
But that's hashtag Team LH.
That is –
did I get that right?
That is
hashtag
Team LH? It's just –
on Twitter, yeah.
It's just what everyone in Twitter world is.
Yeah, I know, but it's isn't it team? What is it? Hashtag Team LH?
Yeah,
is that it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I forget what the Verstappen one is.
It's the rest of Twitter.
Yeah. Oh no, it's the Orange Army.
The Orange Army. Yeah.
The Orange Army. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
But yeah, a lot of those comments where I was just from stuff that I saw over the weekend. I'm like, I'm like, Mercedes did not. I again, all my opinion, obviously, but I don't think Mercedes is the sexiest one. I think Ferrari's is.
I agree.
And I think it's ridiculous to rip on everyone for showing black on the car.
Yeah.
And
also
then having
not
all black
paying
car
attention,
be the best
not
one.
paying attention to some of the technical stuff that came out about the cars.
If you look at Autosport magazine on their Instagram, so it's just Autosport.
Yeah.
But if you go to their Instagram page, they have side-by-sides of overhead shots of the cars, and you can see significant differences in suspension geometry, wheelbase, rear and front wing widths of how they're going about this. And then definitely some advances with the under tray length of how far out it protrudes towards the front wheels from where the driver sits. And then along with the rear end, I think the biggest one is probably the rear engine cover shape and size, because it's a lot more tightly packed, because you basically drop right down to the floor a lot sooner than last year's, and it I don't know if something got changed in the engine rules, but then again, like there is an engine freeze, so I'm just not sure unless they just reworked how the bodywork is. Obviously, I don't know what's going on underneath everything, because no team is going to expose what's going on underneath how they package stuff, because that's where all the secrets are. Right. Everyone can see what's going on aerodynamically except for Red Bull, because it's the under tray that makes the most significant advancement for them. I mean, granted, that's where a lot of teams generate their downforces from the under tray, because theoretically, if you have a powerful enough under tray, you don't even need a rear wing. That's just theoretically, like it is possible. Which actually, Peugeot with their hypercar is a prime example, because if there's a set downforce number that you're allowed to achieve, then if you just make a powerful enough under tray, then you don't need a rear wing.
Yep.
So.
All right.
On
that note,
I'm good with that.
That's
Anyone's
good.
got anything else?
Christian? No. Just one small thing we kind of overlooked. Like to wish the captain a happy 86th birthday today, Roger Penske.
Happy birthday, Roger.
Yeah, Toto, he's coming for you.
Right.
Imagine.
Anyways, so that's pretty 86. Wow.
Yeah, good for him.
God love him. Doesn't look it. Other than
Kind
that,
of does.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Hey, you want to say that to him face to face?
No. I could say that you have all the success in the world, but you still look 81.
86.
He's okay. So I mean,
Nate, you're just digging your grave. Let's put it this way. On that note, you will not be.
I'm
driving.
going to another Indy 500. He'll be fine to take my 80
You won't
bucks.
be. You won't be driving for Team Penske. So
Never.
Yeah, they won't be calling. So on that note, we'll look forward to next week. F1 testing. What breaks? See what breaks on the news front.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'll say Aston Martin leads the top of the tables.
Yep, and I'm going to say Red Bull sandbags.
What?
I'm going
to say McLaren, Lando.
I'm going to say Red Bull
Lando.
sandbags.
You're going to say a repeat of last year, Nate?
Yeah, it's going to be Lando topping the charts.
Yeah,
and then
great.
It's
Everyone's going to get excited.
Don't get me wrong. Lap times, I don't think
it's
really...
testing people. I just want to see the cars run.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is I hope all the cars run and we don't have
Yes.
cars breaking down like we had a couple of years ago where it was just like everybody was breaking down.
The first race of the season?
This is like a really...
No, in testing.
This is like a really mini rant, too. The Red Bull launch where everyone... Don't get me wrong. I know that they didn't show the car that they're bringing to testing, so
Right.
I get it. But with everyone I also saw a bunch of comments of every car looks the same. What did you expect with with a year that is not a rule change,
Right.
or a massive overhaul of the rules?
Yeah. Wait till 2026.
Correct.
That's all you can do.
The differences are not major. So
the biggest change last year was the wheel size. They went to the rear wheels.
Yes, the wheel size and the aerodynamic
right.
change.
So now we're just going to carry forward into stability for a while until we get the new motors, and then that'll cause a new design in the cars.
So if you are keen at looking at the smaller bits of the cars, you'll notice that a lot of the mid and backfield teams carried a lot of the top teams' designs from last year into this year, which is why if you look at the Aston Martin, they actually have a combination of all three of the top teams of what they put on that car.
Yep.
But then if you go ahead and look at the top, what's more interesting is looking at the top three teams and what they did change.
Yeah.
Because it's all very minor, but it's improved whatever gains that they can find with the salary cap space and the design space that they have. That's what they're able to do. So it's just interesting to look there, and it's not to put down any of the teams that are at the back of the grid and that their designs aren't anything meaningful. You don't know. Maybe Williams has a great package of whatever it may be, but it's just not getting shown because it's something else and the design is getting hindered by it. So.
Right, some sort of trick up their sleeves.
Yeah, and it could be something small. It could be the best design suspension arms or best design rear wing, but they just don't have the rest of the package complete and to the best compromise that the top teams of the field do. So.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, congrats to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for winning the Daytona 500 and locking himself into the chase. Congrats.
And the All-Star race in North Wilkesboro.
He's a Daytona 500 winner just like RJ.
Yep, that's right.
I was not expecting that.
All right. And on that note, we will look forward to talking to you next week.
Good night.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Ward and Harrison Tate.